We literally have about 5 or 6 different crises happening at the same exact time. Private credit crisis, a global oil crisis, insurance crisis. But we're at war. That is a crisis. Human livelihood crisis, home affordability crisis. And I want to compare all the crises that we're having right now to history. I have a theory that will help all of you because no one's going to be following this theory. All right, y'all know the drill. This is not financial advice. Everything you're about to experience here is for information and educational purposes only. Do your own research and remember that every investment has a risk of loss of your money. I am not a financial advisor. I am not your financial advisor. Do your own research. And with that being said, enjoy the show. So we got a really funky thing happening with the economy that I hope everybody's noticing. We literally have about 5 or 6 different crises happening at the same exact time right now. And I want to compare all the crises that we're having right now to history. But most importantly, I have a theory that will help all of you because no one's going to be following this theory. And it's all about housing. But before we get into that, I do want to talk about all these crises that we have going on right now.
Okay.
So we literally have a global oil crisis. Like, this is a real crisis. People in the world do not have gas, and people are breaking out into fights. It's wild. Gas in LA is $8 a gallon.
That's nuts.
And I show my age when I say I remember when I first started driving, there was a moment when gas was like $1 and some change. I feel old every time I think about that.
I think the lowest I seen gas was about 170 something, 190s.
Wow, you weren't even driving yet, were you? Okay. I filled up my very first Chevy Celebrity, my first car, with $1 and some change.
Okay.
All right. So we got the oil crisis. We have private credit crisis. We talked extensively about that. That has gotten significantly worse since the last time we talked about it. But it's cool. We'll do a recap. I want the dust to settle just a little bit more, and I want a couple more big headlines to come out so I can have some stuff to talk about. Like, we're going to talk about what to do as a result of that, but we'll come back to that later. Okay. We've got the debt crisis. We are in the hole. We have assets. By we, I mean the United States has assets of $6 trillion, and they're in the hole $48 trillion. This is the largest the deficit has ever been.
Yeah.
We got a Social Security crisis, which they've been talking about for 20 years, but now it's really happening. We actually have a war. That's a different form of crisis, but we're at war. That is a crisis. Human livelihood crisis. And last but not least, I keep talking about this, but we're going to lay up in it today. Home affordability crisis. Okay, so I've named like 6 or 7 different crises, and there are probably some other things that I'm not even thinking about. So let's look at history to figure out what this really means. Okay, how many times in history have we had multiple crises? In the last 100 or so years, every time was marked by a recession or a depression. So we had a crisis, the Great Depression. We had a whole bunch of crises then, right? The Great Depression. In the 70s, we had war, the oil issue, inflation, stagflation, all the things. It happened in 2008. But here, I want to show y'all something. This is really, really, really going to trip you out. It's going to trip y'all out. Okay, so I went and did a little research. I was like, okay, so this is looking like all the times when we did have recessions or depressions. We already know that. Everybody's coming out saying, look at the bubbles popping, looking like 2008. Cool. When did we have all these crises when it wasn't marked by a recession or depression? Every time was right before the recession or depression, except for one time.
Okay, when?
2019, 2020. We had multiple crises going on, but we did not suffer a recession or a depression. That scares the bejesus out of me because, number one, that means that there's a pent-up cycle that needs to happen. Number two, this means that COVID kind of rescued it all from happening because we were all distracted, and that gave the government an opportunity to pump a lot of money into the economy to temporarily prop it up. Number 3, I've mentioned this before, that 2008 was just a short time ago. So like there were, 30 to 40 years in between each of those problems. So we had the Great Depression in the 30s, and then it ran back around in the 70s. That's 40 years. Then the 70s to 2008, that's 40 years. And then what do you mean? We messed up again. And 40 years is 2 generations. And that's typically, I don't want to get into a whole thing about the cycles of generations and when there's always a regime change. So there's different cycles and different types of regime change from a spiritual, biblical perspective, history perspective. You got every 2,000 years, you got every 1,000 years, you got every, I think like every 300 to 400 years, something happens. And then you have every 20 to 40 years, something happens, right? There's a cycle change. So 2008 wasn't 20 years ago. Here we are again, and they did everything to prop it up. And the reason why the cycle of 20 years is important is because that's enough time to, there's also a 100-year cycle too. That's a whole nother thing. But 20 to 30 years is enough time for the next generation. And so like some people forget. And so you're not emotionally, you don't have the so much scarring emotionally. But 15, 18 years, people did not forget. And so, oh my goodness, here we are again. We legit didn't learn our lesson. Real quick, this is a great moment. This is why you need to be on our newsletter list. I break everything down. If you are a regular viewer of this show and on the newsletter, please let them know how much I break it all down in the newsletter. You need to get the full picture. Some of y'all understand things better when you read it and you see the outline. I know the show is entertaining and I'll be giving y'all game, but I really give a full game away in the newsletter. Go to the link down below, sign up for the newsletter. It is absolutely free. Sign up right now. So here we are with all these crises. Now, part of what keeps the crisis spiraling is the fact that there is volatility, and most people don't have the pattern recognition to notice the patterns in the volatility.
That's
and
neat.
So they're just, oh my God, you already know. Some of y'all know these people, but y'all got this show. So y'all, I'm not talking about none of y'all. We're noticing patterns while everybody's losing their mind, going crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Most people can't. They're not only they can't notice the patterns, but they're not tapped in enough to even notice the patterns. Like honestly, some of the content that I see online right now is so tone deaf, and I'm like, are y'all like aware? I'll give you a perfect example. Vegas, they're running really, really cheap deals right now. Like really cheap deals. And
go to Vegas?
Yes.
Okay.
The hotels are.
Okay.
And I saw a creator talking about it. And in there talking about it, they like, oh my goodness, Vegas, like I don't remember, but it was like, you're not even paying attention to the news. Yes. We got elevated gas prices. People can't get on planes. They're scared. They're scared to travel.
Yeah.
ICE. Like
TSA.
Right.
All that stuff.
All the things. Everything is expensive. People don't have jobs. Yes, this is why. Not like, oh my goodness, Vegas is doing a sale.
Yeah.
But, and here's the thing, they didn't just not say it. They were talking about like Vegas, why is Vegas, I can't even remember what they were
They were
like laying into it, right.
That's why, confused. Like it was so cheap to get to Vegas at this point, and yeah. Yeah. And
so this is most people, even people that are active participants in the market, because I wouldn't even want to talk about this, but right now gambling is a thing. You got poly market, and the likes. That is like, in my opinion, a great black eye to the fabric of our morality and culture to me. Awful. We had Keith from Memes and Markets come and speak. You weren't here. He spoke to our private community. He did an amazing presentation about prediction markets and human nature and mindful investing. And one of the things he pointed out, I noticed it, but I didn't notice it on a conscious level, that as short ago as 2018, They didn't even allow sports betting online.
Right.
Now here we are, full on prediction markets.
Mm-hmm.
What a change to our perception of what right and wrong is.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy.
I also think it's generational too, though, because with the newer generation, that's what they're
because they were trained, because they were taught this.
Okay.
I don't want to go down that road.
I think no, I get what you're saying. I think they were trained because the stock market gradually went away from
more
traditional investing, this to a full-on gambling ring.
I remember 5-7 years ago when someone said they were a day trader.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really big deal, sexy thing that only certain people can do.
Now it's like
everybody's
trendy.
Day trader.
It's a cool thing to be like, oh, a day trade in the stock market, because it's looked upon as like
it's just a thing.
And like at first, because when I started actually learning how to day trade was 2020 during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
right? But prior to, you had to really go through some type of study, like long, like real deal, like really years worth of study, years worth of losses. And then I noticed post COVID, like when the people who had been doing it already, when they start elevating, showing, social media took off, platforms started rising, and now, you know, like this whole thing of investing is trendy, it's cool. It's stock market, day trading, options trading, futures trading. And like
I think our whole economy is propped up on it. Like that's really kind of a great segue into like where we are now and why this bubble is going to have to pop, because right now the stock market is just very much so propped up on prediction, just gambling.
So they said we might as well let everything out the bag then after that. Sports betting.
That is so
Poly
wild
market.
to me. I don't know how the people at Poly Market sleep at night.
Probably like a baby.
Like a baby.
Probably like a baby.
Like a baby. Anyways, okay. So we have all these crises, prediction markets, everything just skewing our perception, creating volatility, making it so that it's pure chaos. Plus we got the warlord of chaos in office.
We do.
As a president. And so
your boy.
He's more my boy than anything, I guess, because I be trying to defend him, but he just make himself so undefendable. I just be trying to bring reason to him so that we're not so emotional and we can like. But anyways, Elon is your boy. You gotta take that one. You gotta take that one.
You gonna tell him Elon, my boy.
Elon is your boy.
Hey man, hey, you know.
All right, so we got all of this chaos and volatility with all of these crises, multiple crises happening at the right time. And so everybody's going to be very confused about what's happening. The pundits, the economists are confused. But I'm going to give you all one thing to clarify and make it so that it's not confusing. I'm going to give you one economic indicator. Because guess what? All the economic indicators, this is another thing. All the economic indicators are either skewed. Y'all be saying it in the comments. I don't got to say it. I believe it though. But like these numbers be super fudged.
Yeah.
A lot of them are estimates. So it's not based on real data. So this economic indicator that I'm going to give you is the only one like you can tell everything you need to tell about the U.S. economy. Home affordability.
Home affordability.
Home affordability.
Okay.
Right now, while we have chaos and volatility, home affordability, can people afford homes, and who can afford homes, will tell you everything you need to know about the market. Because GDP can be fudged. Unemployment can be fudged. Home affordability cannot be fudged. Inside of home affordability, it touches on every single solitary thing in the market. Everything. Everything in real time, though. It's a real time lie detector test. Okay?
Walk me through that.
I'm going to walk you through it.
Okay.
So there are about 7 or 8 things that are typically really important to the economy. There's no other sector that touches on everything the way that home affordability does. Okay, so I'm going to go through all of them. This is massively important. Okay? Home affordability is affected by rates/inflation.
Okay.
That's pretty self-explanatory, right? People need mortgages. I mean, it's just multiple ways, but like people need mortgages to get homes. Rates determine their mortgage. Inflation determines where rates go. All the things. Y'all already know this. Y'all know that rates affect the housing market. That's the number one thing that the Fed does to get the most bang for their buck in terms of taming inflation, is setting rates. All right? We already know that, right? We're on the same page there, right? Okay.
And then I asked you that question earlier about the effects of rates on mortgages and things like that. So you answered that, which was pretty much kind of what I asked you off camera earlier, because I asked you, if rates remain elevated, what does that do for the value of what you could get a home at?
Okay. So if typically rates are elevated because inflation is high. So if inflation is high, that is what the Fed will do to tame inflation, is raise rates. Right?
Right.
So they make money more expensive, essentially tightening from a indirect way, tightening money supply. So
Right.
Fed funds rate is the overnight rate at which banks lend money to cover things like car loans, business loans, all the things, right? And so when they raise rate, that controls the money supply, indirectly controls the money supply. When they raise rates, they get the most bang for their buck with housing, because 40% of inflation, it changes, but around about 40% of inflation is housing. And so if they say, hey, we're going to raise rates, that means that it'll have an inverse effect on housing prices.
Right.
So if mortgages are more, builders will have to people will have to sell properties less so that people can afford it.
Right. So
to make home values go, if they wanted home values to go down, because they get the most bang for their buck in that basket of goods that goes into inflation.
But then if they cut the rates, then that opens a door opportunity for more people
to buy homes,
to buy in,
right?
Which causes the value to skyrocket, which causes...
Well, I want to say it doesn't cause it to skyrocket, but it gives them a little bit more pricing wiggle room.
Well, essentially causes for higher inflation, though.
No. You're taming inflation with it. You don't want high inflation. Like, inflation is healthy. The Fed has said multiple times at 2%. You never want high inflation. You don't say, oh, we need inflation, so we're going to lower rates. No, it's like, oh, the economy is doing well. Inflation is steady, so we can lower rates. So now we can decrease the cost of lending, and this allows for room for appreciation to happen. Okay?
So does that also affect the cost of labor? Because I know you said the cost of lending.
Great question. That's a great segue into the next one. Home affordability is affected by the cost of labor and the cost of materials. Okay? Labor and materials directly is affected by the oil crisis, supply crisis, all of that. Okay? Private credit as well. Because guess what? Private credit supports labor and materials. Okay? Materials, shipping. We got an issue in the Strait of Hormuz. Guess what? Energy is needed to convert those raw materials that go into the homes. Okay? So in the cost of a home, labor and material is a big portion of it. Here's the other thing too. I forgot the other crisis that we got. We have a ICE crisis.
ICE?
Deportation.
Oh, ICE. Okay, ICE. Yeah. Immigration?
Yes.
Okay.
Think of the word. I don't know why. So we got an immigration crisis. Guess what? Labor. Guess who's being deported? Cheap labor. They don't even want to go outside. They don't even want to go outside. They was building your homes, making it affordable. I know, because I don't know what my guys is doing. Wasn't me, I don't know. But I'm sure my guys, I know they go drive over to Home Depot. Hey, Papi, I ain't trying to be, that's just what it is. Like my one guy who handle all my stuff, he speaks fluent Spanish for that reason, because most of the guys that he used to work with were here illegally.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know what the mix is. Maybe that's just a small percentage. I don't know. But labor and materials are up. That's just across the board, period, point blank. Okay? This goes into the cost of a home. Again, this is a private credit issue. This is an oil issue. So this goes into the cost of a home. The next thing, I didn't talk about this. It has been a Nicole crisis, and I don't know if this is a national crisis. I don't know, but this is a Nicole crisis. This is a hill that I've been on for a nice minute. The incompetence and lack of macroeconomic education of local politicians. This is a national issue. I don't know, how can I put this? Prior to 2008, I don't really know if this was an issue, maybe because people had more general education. But now politicians they don't have to understand macroeconomics at all. And so they're doing things like, I meant to pull this clip up. There was a hearing in Philadelphia about a bill that affected landlords. And I don't remember the specifics, but it passed in favor of tenants, and the landlords lost it. And when I saw it posted online, people was in the comments like, oh my goodness, the landlords, they can't get their, frappuccinos, their lattes, and they were acting like the landlords was the enemy. And it's like, no, the landlord's providing housing for you. And if you think that landlords are getting rich, trust and believe, most landlords are making anywhere from, on a good day, $200 to $500 per unit per month. And so when you have landlord tenant laws that are in favor of the tenant, right now, if you're a tenant in Philadelphia and you don't pay your rent, there are ways that you can finagle and live in that place for 2 years rent free. Just imagine. So here's the other thing. Most single family homes are owned by small mom and pop landlords. I always say this. Local politicians do not respect landlords as business owners. They want you to own a home and give and pay the mortgage and be on the hook for no profit. So if that's the case, there is no affordability in there. Now, nobody's making money.
Yeah.
So now people don't have a place to live. Why would I want to do that? That's why I'm selling all my properties, because I keep telling y'all, it only makes sense to be a landlord at scale because the margins is getting so thin. A lot of these local governments, they're becoming pro-tenant, like super pro-tenant. There are some that's like, hey, you don't pay your rent in 30 days, we can go and physically remove you. That's scary. God forbid you have a bad month.
Yeah.
That's super scary, but there are a lot of places that are like that. Now, this is why I want to get into governments not understanding local politics and why this is an issue. It always shows up in housing first.
In what
right?
way?
Local politicians don't understand macroeconomics. Every politician needs to understand macroeconomics, because if you understand that, hey, we need to protect landlords. This will make, if you protect their profits, this will make it more affordable. Because landlords do a lot to be able to bring a property to the market. They put a lot on the line to be able to bring a property to the market. And so when you have these laws that say, hey, we don't respect you as a business owner if you're a landlord. We respect all small business owners, just not landlords. We don't respect y'all. Y'all shouldn't make a dime. Guess what people are going to not do? Bring units to the market. Guess what? Now you got a real housing crisis. Because people, why would I want to do this?
So question for you. Do you think that there is a difference between...
I got more to say on this, so go ahead.
Do you think that there is a difference between being like a very good entrepreneur, very good business owner, successful business owner, and then
being a politician?
one person understanding macroeconomics? Do you think that
yes, this is why we have this show. You can only be a good... You cannot be a good business owner and not understand macroeconomics, because I don't care how cornered the market you got, if you're not looking at it from a bird's eye view, if anything, and this is the problem with a lot of business owners, they think so small. They think that things won't change. Anything can change. There's nothing that's risk-free. Anything can change. And so you need to understand, what are the threats to your business? I thought you were going to ask me a question about, I literally got like 5 different angles from this, but I thought you was going to ask me a question about, do I think is a good correlation between being a good business owner, a good entrepreneur, and being a good politician? I've been saying this for a long time. I think anything above a block captain, in order to qualify you to be in politics, you have to either have successful track record of running a business or being in a leadership role, and we can put qualifiers on that, and or being in a leadership role in a nonprofit or a religious organization. You should not ever be able to be a career politician. That should be 100% illegal. Okay. Because I wholeheartedly, I'll give you an example. I can only give Philly as an example because I followed their local politics the most. But a lot of people, a lot of cities do this. They run on platforms, they run on ideas that short term seem like it benefits the constituents. Like, I think of a good example of, hey, we're going to do, this is what they did one time. We're going to do a soda tax to pay for schools, I think it was, to pay for public school system. And it's like, that's ridiculous. If you understood macroeconomics, then you will understand that the issues, because Philly has like drastically low median income to the national average. Their poverty rate is insane. So this means to me that there are not enough dollars circulating in the city. That's what it means to me. And rather than just shuffling around a little bit of dollars, you got an opportunity. You need to put things in place to attract new dollars into the city. Okay? We need to put some program, not we, I don't live there. I ain't lived there in a long time. Y'all need to put programs into place to get more businesses in the city. And you're saying that's the mindset. This is a macroeconomics person, or a business person. The mind of a business person. That's where I was going. Yeah. But if you are a career politician, all you're thinking about is that next vote. What sounds good? So, reason I asked that question is because I think with the election of Donald Trump, it gave a new sense of barrier to entry of who can be into politics, because he was definitely not a lifelong politician. That was with the refreshment. There were some things that people didn't like that lifelong politicians put in place on a federal level, cultural shifts that a lot of people didn't like, and he got in there and changed it. I'm not defending him. But what I am saying is, businessman, was he the right businessman? I don't know. I think in my personal view, I feel like sometimes you can be a successful business entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, and you're just good at your niche, but you don't understand macroeconomics. You can't be, you're not going to ever be good. If you're a larger business now, if you're just a solopreneur, possibly. You probably understand macroeconomics, you don't even realize you understand it. But if the only instances where you can be completely ignorant to macroeconomics as a business owner is if you are a solopreneur and you're only operating for a season, 10 years or so.
But
Because you only have success under certain conditions.
That's a good one. Success under certain conditions.
Under certain conditions.
So you're saying like an Amazon or like a I don't know, Google, like
they have to understand macro. What are you talking about?
They through all conditions they can sustain.
Right. They understand.
Okay.
You know, but you can't. It's just impossible. Now, why are we talking about local politics, right? I'm gonna make it make sense. We spend a lot of time talking about national, federal politics, but local politics affect you more than in your day-to-day life more than federal. Federal, yes, right now, just because of the salaciousness of it all. Like, oh my God, he said this, he said that, he said this, he said that. So yeah, it is affecting you psychologically, but in terms of just pure day-to-day, local politics affects you way more. Most people ignore it. That's really, especially if you're a real estate investor, if you're a small business, if you start getting involved or making your presence known to local politics, you will open up a world of doors for you. Just go to city council meeting once a quarter, once a month. Make them know your face, because remember, they're public servants. And so all of the opportunities, grants, everything. When I tell you, when I was doing business in Philly, if anything happened, I had 3 to 4 city council people call me. Like, yo, Nicole, you need to look at this. Because they're public servants. And meanwhile, y'all be acting like, oh, and they got the control.
Yeah. They got to say so.
They got to say so, and it'd be like the barrier be low. Like, oh, you need that? Psh, okay. Yeah, and listen, you know how much stuff I got done just by knowing the right people. One time, I'll just give you. This is a very simple example. I'll give you all 2 examples. When both of the times when we did Philly Real Estate Week in person, I did a bunch of events in City Hall for $100.
In City Hall.
In City Hall, in the event space, right next to where Ben Franklin used to hang out at. I'm standing right there. What? Not right. He was at this very podium.
Yeah.
In multiple rooms, like in the main room where the mayor in Philadelphia, where she signed all her stuff and be on it, I had events right there for $100. You know why? Because I knew somebody and they was like, yo, go talk to the previous mayor's assistant. She was a spicy lady. You just had to endure getting cussed out, and she would just do whatever. She'd be like, I can't remember her name. She had a name something like Miss Velma or something like that. Like, yes, Miss Velma. And she would cuss you out without cussing, demean the crap out of you, but she will give you everything. Okay, so you want how many hours after you got demeaned? All about who you know. But the crazy part about it is you don't even got to be a networking genius. All you got to do is show up to the meetings.
Show up, or you can be in the right. Well, show up to the meetings, of course. That'll put you in the right area or the right environment, or you can join the right environment.
You can join the right environment. Thank you. You can join the right environment. You can join our private investor network. The right people is in the right room. Join the Profit Door. The link will be down below. Y'all missed the sale, but it's still a crazy value. We have insane amount of training. We recorded training plus trainings that we have live. And when you join, you get a one-on-one with me as soon as you join. And I, just like I quick-witted on this, I go through your business plan, give you some strategies. Hey, you can do this, this, and the other. Bing, boom, bop. While it's available, we've been getting shout out to all y'all who've been joining. I love y'all. Y'all been filling my calendar up. It's about to get super full. I'm not gonna be able to do these one-on-ones. Yeah. The program is not designed for like a one-on-one with Nicole to be the thing. You can absolutely succeed without having a one-on-one with Nicole. But I do like to get to know you, because I like to know everybody and every business in the program.
Shout out to the books too. Shout out
Shout out to y'all been selling it. Brandon been coming in here frustrated. Y'all been buying this book. This book.
Put me to work.
I know. It's my baby. It is my baby. The Anti-Hustle. Train, Don't Chase. This is a business book based in scripture. And there is a very powerful manifestation technique in here. I do it twice a year. It works every time. Actually, I've been doing it once a quarter lately, but it works every time. Before we go on, because I'm not going to forget, I still have a point about the local politics. Before we go on, you had a question that you wanted to ask everybody. I think we need to ask the question sooner. Last time we asked it at the end of the episode. What was the question?
The question
It's
not
ready?
gonna make it's not gonna make sense right
now.
Yeah.
Make sure you stay to the end of the episode so you can answer the question that we have in here in the comment section. I love to hear how you guys think. I love it. Y'all be giving me ideas. And I want y'all to see how each other thinks. Also, too, y'all know every episode is based on an outline. Every time we do this, I have an outline in my head. It goes deep, and I'll be remembering all of it. So if there are certain lists or certain things that you remember, take notes for each other in the comments. Help each other out. I'm not here to entertain y'all. Take notes. When you take notes, you remember it yourself. So I want you to remember all of this stuff, okay? So make sure you take notes down in the comment section. Okay. Local politics. And the reason why I'm putting this in the list of things that go into home affordability is because we have a local politics crisis. One, local politicians don't understand macroeconomics, so they're making decisions about your life without understanding the greater impact on it. They're making short-term decisions that's affecting you, and it's okay, and we're doing popularity contests.
I agree.
And that's not cool, okay? Number two reason why local politics is important from a home affordability issue, because local politics set the permitting regulations that then affect the cost of developing a home that then gets passed on to you. So anytime they want to just, like I just said, they want to just tack on a bunch of costs. Anytime something gets developed, if it's cumbersome, that messes everything up for you. That messes everything up for the economy that goes into the home affordability. If the permitting process is cumbersome, it's because you have incompetent politicians, local politicians in office, and those people appoint the jobs that control the process.
Yeah.
So it's a crisis. The country all around on a local and a national level is run by, and I'm not trying to attack anybody, because also y'all know I've been saying that the CEOs of these public companies are also bozos. The leaders that we have decided to put in place, bozos.
Everybody except Elon.
Everybody except Nicole. So you say everybody except Elon?
I had to mess with you.
I'm sorry, I had a joke lined up.
I had to mess with you. All right, but no, like, yeah.
If y'all don't know, I think Elon is top tier bozo of all the bozos. Top tier jabroni.
Jabroni.
Top tier, you wake up every day and brush his teeth with jabroni toothpaste.
Oh my goodness.
How can I get more jabroni in my bloodstream?
Jabroni toothpaste. It's crazy.
Jabroni, I want it in my bloodstream. He called the chef. Can you make me some bozo eggs? I would like a bowl of eggs, cream, a little bit of bozo. I need it lining my gut.
I need a jabroni pasta
I
stack.
need jabroni pasta.
All right. I had to throw it in.
Noodles, no packet.
Ate noodles with no packet.
Waffles, no syrup.
Cereal
Jelly.
with the canned milk.
Bozo.
The powder milk.
Oh my goodness.
No, that's my favorite meme of all time.
No
You know what I'm talking about? Watching
Yeah.
these 3 times a day. I'm watching some rendition. Waffles, no syrup. Cereal, no milk with the powdered
Cereal
milk.
with the canned milk. The powder milk.
Okay.
With a
They took
little
that on
sprinkle of bozo.
With a little sprinkle of the jabroni. This was crazy right here.
Jabroni deal. Cereal, no milk. With the powdered milk. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. If y'all don't get that, I promise y'all I'm sorry for the last 5 minutes. If you do get it, enjoy. Okay.
Real tears in your eyes right now.
I'm trying to pull it together so I can stay on track.
Yeah.
Okay. So housing. This bring it up to speed.
Yeah.
Housing is affected by interest rates, all the crises, right? Interest rates, labor material, which is private equity, oil crisis, local politics. That's the local politics. This is the political mistrust crisis. That is a whole thing, right?
I also think that what you said earlier made a lot of sense, though. Like, career-long politicians don't really have a track record of saying, like, of showing, like, okay, this works. Like, it's more so they go off of, like, an intuitive kind of
It's not intuitive. It's what's going to keep them in office. It's two things. Hey, let me pander to what I think people want versus looking at what the greater good is. That's the whole thing about macro. It's taking a step back and looking at the greater good, looking 2 and 3 steps ahead. The other thing is I need to make promises to my donors. I make due on my promises to my donors. So this is why another good thing about having business people be in office, they be having their own money. I don't need to be bought off by you. They had a politician some years ago that I was really hoping that Philly was going to choose. He ain't had no money from nobody. He's a 300 millionaire. What I need, I got my own money.
Yeah.
Oh, it costs $1 million a run? Okay. I got it. Now, that can be good and bad, right? For sure. But what you don't want is these career politics. I just think that's just like, I think that's a huge systematic glitch in our system and the way we do things.
I think we're looking at that in real time, though. I would say so myself, as far as our government and who's in office, because you got Trump as president and GP.
Jerome
Powell.
Powell.
Yeah, but you got Romy Rome. You got DT and Romy Rome. Both got 2 different avenues of how they got to where they got to.
Romy Rome, but he's not a public servant. He's not an elected official. He's an appointed official. And he's not an elected official. He's not a career politician. He's not even a politician.
I guess you're right.
He's not a politician.
He's not. But his views are very politician-like. I would say so.
I disagree. I think he really is looking at the greater good. Is he wrong sometimes? Yes. Is he very strategic about his words? Yes. Which can be misleading? Yes. But that's always been their job. They have to be strategic about their words, and they have to say things to teeter the line to get you to do what they want you to do. That's part of that job. I'm not excusing it. It's a stupid system, but that's just what it is. Okay, let's move on to, I think it's like number 6, that affects home affordability. That is a greater indication of the entire economic system. Public trust. People buy homes when they feel protected. Public trust is at an all-time low. People just don't buy homes, or I don't want to say they don't do it, they're just less likely to do it. Public trust is at an all-time low. We had all these things come out at the same time, where their minds are just not thinking about investing in a home. This is more of one of the softer things. Like, we can't really quantify this. This is, again, Nicole theism, right? Public trust is just at an all-time low. We got the war. We got Epstein files. We got Jerome the Dolphin and having all his friends killed. We got, we just feel very lied to. And so, like, do I want to invest in this system? This is things that's happening on a subconscious level, right? Okay, I'm going to bring to my last one. This thing actually affects, in my opinion, 95% of home affordability, which is 95% of the economy. Public sentiment. Which brings me back to my whole point about Jerome Powell and whoever's in that position, the Fed chair. They have to say specific things to keep public sentiment at a certain level, because the economy is literally based on public sentiment. I'll give you an example. The economy, a healthy economy has flows, currency flows. People making it, they're spending it. They're making it, they're spending it. That is really what the measure of an economy is. Okay? So if you think about somebody, let's say you got $100,000. It only means something to the economy as the health of the economy if you're making the $100,000 and then you're spending 100 or 99 of it. But if you make $100,000 and your public sentiment is negative, you're going to keep your $100,000. You just won't spend it.
Yeah.
How do I know? Because when 2008 crash, I say this for any crash, when 2008 crash happened, when Lehman collapsed, I remember that day like it was yesterday. I was working on Wall Street at the time. T-1, everybody was just operating. Soon as Lehman collapsed, then everything tightened up. What changed other than information? Y'all didn't have less money. Y'all didn't have less money till somewhere down the line. You didn't have less money. The very next day, our cost of doing business for the firm that I worked for, our cost of lending went through the roof, and we were AAA rated paper. Went through the roof. Because now everybody is tight. So public sentiment is 95% of it. They need to make sure that currency is currenting.
Just off the information.
Just off of information. That's all this economy is all about, is the flow of currency and the flow of wealth. The distribution, transfer, flow. So that's why currency is called currency. It needs to operate on a currency. Okay? Which brings me to this point. When people have, first of all, the home buying process in America is very cumbersome. It just is. Whole industries are thriving off of the fact that the process is cumbersome. When people are in survival mode, whether they have money or not, if they are afraid because we're at war, because the stock market is down, it's volatile, this is scary. I'm not scared, but this is a scary thing. We're at war, and I saw the president bragging about the blueprints or the renderings for his new ballroom. Are you serious?
Yeah.
This puts people in survival mode. Okay? When you're in survival mode, are you thinking about going through a 5-month process of buying a home? Because guess what? Buying a home is not more secure than renting, when you could just go sign an application and move in 2 months, because your mind is so preoccupied. Not 2 months, you can move in 2 weeks, I'm sorry. You could just move in with 2 weeks because your mind is so preoccupied with all of these things, and a good chunk of it is what's going to happen to the American economy? What's going to happen to being an American? Is Iran, what is this war going to do to us? Oh my goodness, I don't like our president. Oh my goodness, I can't afford, my gas prices have gone up drastically. Am I going to jump through hoops right now where my mind is so, the scripture talks about substance, right? When we think about substance, we think about, it says that Jacob gathered all his substance and he went over to the brook and he sent everybody when he was about to go meet with Esau. Substance, it's mentioned substance multiple times. And I've really studied this word substance. Substance is not just physical things. Substance is everything that take up energetic space in your mind. And so when humans are in survival mode, that's the problem with survival mode. You can't think clearly because it's taking up so much of your energetic space in your mind. Are you going to go and buy a home during this dumb behind process that we got? Is this important to you?
Going
when
through
when
that.
I can get into, it's a smaller space, but I can get into an apartment for a fraction of the frustration.
And then you're not responsible for.
You ain't responsible. Brandon asked me like, do you believe in buying a home? I never believed in buying a home to live in.
No, I said, do you feel as though the sentiment now is where buying a home is not a necessity or commodity anymore? And then you
I mean,
said,
it never was I don't know if commodity is the word you want to use, but is it a necessity? And I'm like, I never thought it was a necessity. I thought it was a silly thing to do.
well, when I say commodity, because that's the American thing to do.
No, I hear what you're saying, but commodity has a very specific definition. I just want to make sure that.
True. Okay. Yeah.
I understand what you're
On
saying.
a financial level, I know the commodities. Well, yeah, like I don't know, trendy thing.
This is the thing that is the thing that we all aspire to do. I never cared to own a home to live in. Now I do, because I want my son to have a forever home. Mm-hmm. But it's just also not that important to me.
All right. Well, what you saying that
Personally.
was a perfect segue from my question then.
Yes.
From my question to the people, right? To comment on. What value do you get from buying a home if your intent is never to sell it?
That's a good question for y'all. And there's no wrong answer for this.
Like, what is the benefit of owning a home that you never intend to sell?
There is no wrong answer for this. I'm going to share mine, and I don't want y'all to be like, Nicole said that. Y'all don't got to piggyback off of me, because this has just always been a Nicole thing. I don't want to have to worry about a roof in a house that I live in. I'll do it for a living. I worry about roofs for a living, but I don't want to have to worry about dookie in the basement. Not where I live. I'll do it for a living. We set up systems, we handle all that, but I don't want to. It just always was just a headache to me, personally. That's just to me. And I also like to move, because like things happen in homes, and it's like I got to clear my energy out. I got to go over here. I want to go, I want to live, I want to be in high rise today. Tomorrow I want to be in a farm. That's just me. And I don't want to have to worry about all the cumbersome things about buying a home, because my mental substance is usually taken up with running a business or multiple businesses. I don't got time to be combing over, oh goodness, don't send no money to Cash App to such and such. But they could be looking at it, why'd you send such and such a Cash App? Because I wanted to donate some money to such and such. Don't be looking at me while I'm doing this. I want to run my credit on something. Don't tell me I can't run my credit for 3 months. Get out of here. I don't like that. But so my whole point is, this process is so cumbersome when people are typically worried in survival mode. This is not something that they want to do. And so public sentiment, we have a public sentiment crisis. Public sentiment is the biggest shareholder of home affordability. How do I think I'm going to have this job? That's that's one of the biggest things. Hey, every day I go online, AI is taking more and more of my job. Do I think I'm going to have this job? I just read an article the other day where it said that a lot of these companies, big public companies, they are cracking down and doing like more stricter reviews, right? Like when you do your review for review time, they're more strict. And the reason why they do this is because that's what they do when they want to cut jobs. So if my sentiment is that I don't know if I'm going to have a job in 18 months, am I going to be thinking about buying a home when I can go and move into this apartment building over here? I know, okay, I feel like I got a job in a year. I feel like I got a job. I don't want to be.
So then that leads to say, if you're a home owner, right? If you don't own a home, but then you're already a home owner, what does that leave a person feeling like?
Listen, I ain't going. Here's the thing. People that are home owners that are already in their homes, most of them got their mortgages when rates were low. They're not going anywhere. That's also a big issue with home affordability, because now in order for people to get into homes, they're typically buying new builds. Those are more expensive. Home affordability. I'm going to go back again. All these things I said go into home affordability. This is why home affordability is the only economic indicator that you need to look at to determine if where we're at in the economy. That's it, because it entails every single aspect of the economy. Everything. Oil, rates, inflation, public sentiment, your sentiment. Everything is the only thing. While everything is going crazy out there, that's the only thing you need to be watching. Not the only thing. Have fun. We're going to be talking about everything. But that's the main thing that you need to use, because we're not, as long as I don't care what any of this stuff gets fixed. As long as we have a home affordability crisis, we ain't out of the weeds. Now, does that mean if we have a home affordability crisis, if we solve this crisis, then everything is perfect? No, but then things will be a lot more clear. You can then start to look at leading and lagging economic indicators. But right now, how are they saying that, unemployment is 4%, but people can't afford home? That just doesn't make sense.
And you sent me that article the other day too, where it showed that graph.
That 630,000 more homes are...
Yeah. Market home sellers now outnumber buyers by 630,000, largest gap in history.
Why would you look at any other economic indicator as... Like, how do you play this? First of all, stop trading headlines. Stop doing it. One last thing I want to tell y'all. This is an opportunity that almost all of you guys appreciate. Everybody's not going to do it, but you all will appreciate it. So we run a fund, a $15 million private equity fund, and we have a team of capital raisers that we are managing. We're doing a training for our team, but we are opening up 5 or 6 spots for other people that want to learn how to raise capital alongside our team. It's called the Capital Closer Academy. Here's where you can learn how to raise capital. If you just so happen to end up raising capital for us, you get a commission and you get a percentage of the GP. I don't have a whole lot of time to explain this, but you get some ownership, you get some equity in the fund. I know, crazy, right? If you want to apply to one of these 5 spots, click the link down below.
Market home sellers now outnumber buyers by 630,000, largest gap in history.
Why would you look at any other economic indicator? How do you play this? First of all, stop trading headlines. Stop doing it. Also wanted to talk about the insider trading that's happening right before our eyes. It makes me so angry.
Crazy.
Right? Somebody made a ton of money on Polymarket, I think it was, minutes before Donald Trump made a statement about the Iran war. And this particular trader, typically traders that trade headlines like that, they have like a 50-50 win. This guy wins 93% of the time. He's been doing it for a minute.
That's sick.
This should be illegal. I'll go back to the Polymarket. This is crazy. What are we doing as a society? This is sickening. All right, let's move into what you can do about it now. Number 1, stop trading headlines. Stop. Unless you're a day trader, have fun. Y'all know I don't understand that world. You gamblers gamble all day, all you want. I love my day traders. Y'all watching my show. I love y'all. Just know I don't get y'all, but I'm always going to give y'all the real. I don't understand you lot. Okay, don't trade rate drops. I wanted to get into a whole conversation about bond prices and bond yields, about why you should look at it. We'll talk about it next week. We don't have enough time. This episode is already over an hour. We don't have enough time. But just know that while we have an unaffordability issue, rates are going to stay elevated. So don't be thinking to yourself like, oh, rates are going to come down. They're not. They probably going to go up. They're not. Don't be like, I'll wait till rates come down. If I hear somebody say, especially today, I'm going to wait till rates come down, I'm never talking to them again, because I know they're not paying attention. Or I'm just never going to talk serious things to them again. We can talk about memes, cereal, no milk.
With the powdered milk.
With the powdered milk. I'm sorry, cereal, no milk.
Merc.
With the powdered milk.
That's how you got to say it. Merc.
Merc. waffles, no syrup.
I tell you all the
Jelly.
time, you and my mom are so similar.
Why? She been laughing about this too?
That's her thing. I'm talking
my
about
girl,
every time I
yo.
call her, she just crack it up, and she
it's
throw it
funny.
every time she say something that she doing, and she be like, "I had to do it. Know this, know that." Like,
I did a thing on Instagram with my story. Yo, that's funny. I love your mom. First of all, I've been making a joke about this all week. Me and one of our members, shout out, you know who you are. One of our members, we've been bugging out because I'm like, so I have this gift to be able to identify people who they don't have no soul. They have sold their soul. I can see it in the eyes. I don't know. I cannot.
I remember you said that on an episode one time.
Yeah, I can see it in the eyes. Soul gone. Now, I'm not going to say the people. They're some of your favorite public people. And is Donald Trump, he might not be a good person, but his soul is in there. It's not him. So let me be very, very clear. It's not him. He don't got it. He in there. He might be not sleeping at night, but he in there. So me and the homeboy, I was explaining it to homeboy, and I was like, we started calling it cereal no Merc. Cereal no Merc. Body no soul.
Body, no soul. It's not in there. Yeah. That's exactly.
With the powdered Merc. The demon. The powdered Merc. A whole demon occupying your temple. A whole demon.
He got the internet in the tizzy.
That's the greatest meme of all time.
In the tizzy.
Okay, next thing we're going to talk about, I'll probably put this in the newsletter to make it more clear for you guys. So if you're on the newsletter, if you're not on the newsletter, comment newsletter down below, and I'm going to send you the link to get on the newsletter. I'll do this in depth. The next thing is invest in value add assets. Assets where you can force your appreciation, okay? You already know how I feel. Apartment buildings, if you're interested in investing in apartment buildings, a fund where we do value adds, that's big on us. This is important, not just saying, hey, we're going to take this apartment building and take it over. No, value adds, okay? We're forcing appreciation, all right? Okay. If you're going to invest in real estate, look for affordability type of products, or just affordability products just in general. So like co-living spaces, short-term leases, mid-term leases. I don't really do the short-term leases, but actually some people will do those nursing houses where you can, you supply housing to traveling nurses. Run it up. Don't buy based on that, because you never know how they're going to change the local laws. And then you thinking like, oh, I'm going to make $3,000 a month on this house. And then they change the local laws, and then you can't. And then best you can get is $1,200 rent, right? So buy based on what you would get as a single family or whatever it is. But, if you can rent to traveling nurses, if that is an opportunity, run it up, okay?
So what investing do you think Airbnb can make a comeback?
Airbnb's issue is local politics. This is not a supply demand thing. Like, people want Airbnbs, but this is local politics. Like, okay, is the cost to the customer better to go to an Airbnb versus go to a hotel where they turn down your sheets, they clean up after you, all the things. This is a bunch of things, but a lot of it goes into local politics. Do the local government allow for Airbnbs in the city or state? I remember some years ago they changed it in Atlanta to where as though if you can only have like one Airbnb within the Atlanta city, something crazy. They definitely put a kibosh to it in Philly. It's a local thing. Right? You can do it, just not at scale. They're not ruining it, just not at scale. Unless you have a certain license or whatever. So like if you got a house and you want to Airbnb your room or whatever, you can do it at the house that you live at. So they're not saying, hey, we don't want it at all. But it just all depends on what the local regulators allow you to do. There's some places that, like Palm Springs, I think they let you get busy in California. Like, we know we're a tourist town. Get busy. We ain't got no hotels. Whole thing is come and rent a house. So a lot of that is out of the control. It's not like a price demand thing.
Okay.
So insurance arbitrage, this is another opportunity. Buy in markets where insurers are not exiting, because that was another crisis that's happening, is the insurance crisis. Insurance is breaking everywhere, okay? I have so much stuff that I want to say. We'll keep it to the next episode. But insurance is breaking everywhere. Specifically, if you're choosing your markets to invest in, if you're investing in real estate, make sure you're looking at insurers. Are they exiting the markets? Look for the markets where the insurers aren't exiting, because you're piggybacking on their extensive research. They've already decided it's lucrative here. Mm-hmm. If they think it's lucrative for you?
Okay. Picks and shovels, maybe?
Picks and shovels in the sense of like becoming an insurance broker. That's another strategy. Mm-hmm. If you have an insurance brokerage or an insurance company, insurance is extremely price sensitive to inflation. Mm-hmm. They can raise their rates and their premiums very quickly.
Yeah,
and guess what? People got to have it.
Yeah.
What they gonna do?
And you talked about how insurance, briefly touched on it last episode, about how it's underrated.
Right. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go down that road again.
Yeah.
Because we already had a minute and some change, an hour and some change. If you're going to be buying businesses or starting businesses or investing in businesses, insurance brokerages, they can do what they want. They're not sensitive to the effects of inflation. If you're in real estate service providers, because we're talking about how unaffordable this is. Yes, people still have to have a place to live. If you're a service provider, not an agent, y'all know I keep talking about that, but property managers, insurance brokers, property managers are going to make a killing. Because people are getting more and more ornery, tenants, and landlords ain't going to deal with that. If you're good at property management, have fun. This is a tough business to be in. But figure out how to scale. The quicker you can scale, the better. Shout out to, we got one of our members in our fellowship. So I do a year-long training. I'm not trying to pitch it to y'all because we sold out. I might open it back up and do another cohort maybe in the fall, but we're sold out. But she's scaling up crazy with her property management business. And I'm so happy for her because, again, real estate really is only going to work at scale. 2 more, government inefficiencies. If you can, because local politics is on some BS, if you can figure out how to service people based on government inefficiencies and keep your business lean. It depends on the business, but for the most part, local businesses that have that service government inefficiencies. I'll give you an example. You know, I'm going to give you an example. One business that's very popular well, not popular, but like I've met quite a few people that do this in Philadelphia, is they have a permitting, the expediting business. So if they go to all the builders, hey, I'll handle permitted expediting because it is so inefficient. Now, the problem with that is it's not scalable, but sometimes that's okay. Sometimes simple is easier because you have a very local market, right? There are but so many builders building in the city, in any given city. It's not like you can just scale on, keep enough business to keep you busy, you and maybe like one other person as an assistant. Don't just be thinking that you're just going to have all of these bells and whistles because like it's just not scalable. But there is a market enough to make you live comfortably. And so this is why you need to pay attention to macroeconomics when you have those small businesses, because you need to know how many permits is being pulled, what's happening on a local political level that's going to make so that more people, are people pulling more permits? Are people pulling less permits? What's happening in the economy? Oh man, Susie, you my VA, you got to drop you down to 30 hours. Oh, maybe I can't take a trip. Keep your expenses low. But you can make a fun little living doing that. But are you scaling? Because also every state and city have different government inefficiencies. Some cities, it's so easy to pull a permit. Like one in Philly to do Section 8 is a whole process. You got to do a class and everything. A whole process. And don't quote me on this, but I want to say it's Memphis. One of my partners invests in Memphis, and they think it coming from Philly like, when's the class? I got to do this. And they're like, no, just sign this piece of paperwork. He signed it and he was like, now you're Section 8 ready.
Wow.
Right, so every city is different. So that's why you don't be thinking that you're gonna go into the scale, and you can go into it making some good money though, because these builders, they don't want to deal with this, especially the builders that build all over the place. You want to go to builders that's bigger and moving into your market. Hey, listen, I know you've been investing in such and such city. Over here, it ain't like that, but I got you. That's how I ended up. One of my really good girlfriend, Jane draws plans. She handled plans. Do you know how I met her? Down when I was pulling permit, sitting in that godforsaken situation. I actually used to like it, but she was down there handing out her card. She had a guy down there handing out her card, like, you need somebody to do plans, because they just made the rule that at that time that you need plans to pull your permits. You need somebody to do it. You need somebody to do it. Called it. We became friends. I really need to tap in with her, because Jane, I love you.
Shout out, Jane.
Shout out to Jane. I know I've not been a great friend right now. I haven't talked to her, and she's had some major life milestones. I don't want to tell you, I haven't talked to my friend. And last but not least, y'all, this is important. If you plan to get a bank loan, business credit, get it now. Get it now. And if you need me to connect the dots with you why you need to get it now, you ain't been paying attention. These banks is about to shut it down. Because we got an affordability issue, they're not making money, we got a private credit issue, and it's trickling into credit tightening everywhere. Get it now. If you need a person to help you get business credit, I have someone for you. Actually, I have a video that is private, it's unlisted, that goes through the training. I'll post it in the link down below. You can watch the video of my guy and see if you want to work with him or not. He gets people business credit. He will help you. He got a great strategy. But I told him the other day, listen, you need to be thinking about another business, because I don't know where this is going to go. If it tightens up, what are you going to do? But for right now, it's go time. Go, 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 go.
Globally, economically, spiritually, everything is on the shift. It's on the shift. You can feel it, you can see it. Everything is going on.
How does that make you feel?
How does that make me feel
How
personally?
does that make you feel personally? Personally. As personally as you can get.
Personally, it doesn't make me feel anything, because I believe in what I believe in.
Okay,
So we believe in what
That's
we
what I was
believe
checking
in.
for.
So me personally, I know who I come from and what I'm capable of and what I'm here to achieve. So, it's more so like, better get on board. You better get on board. You better wake up. Open your
how
eyes.
I feel?
See what's going on out here.
I feel two things. The first thing I feel is like this is just means opportunity for me. Right? Because I ain't sleep.
Yeah.
The people that's going to be jacked up is the sleep ones.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like,
I skip that too, though. I do feel like that too.
Opportunity. It's go time, Nicole. The other thing I feel a sense of vindication and relief, because I talked about this. 2024 was the worst year of my life financially. And when you suffer something like that, you go through a whole lot of it's just a whole process of like reshifting your identity, being mad, sad, then liberating yourself from the ego. Like you blaming other things, you blame yourself, you blame this, you blame that. And then once I came to a point where it's like, I take full responsibility for this. This is what I did wrong. And then after you finally take full responsibility and you like, it's cool. I'm an OG. This is what I do. I go back, I come back, I bounce back and do it once, I can do it twice. As soon as you get you get your legs up under you, then it'd be like, God, like, yeah, but it really wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
It really wasn't your fault. This is you caught the beginning of the nonsense. And so I feel vindicated too. Also, like, I'm glad that I went through that whole process, because it did allow me to raise to a higher level of consciousness, right? And I was able to sift through what was ego and what was Nicole, right? But at the same time, I realized that This wasn't me. It wasn't fully me.
Mm-hmm.
Could I have handled some things better? Yes. But
You learned from it, basically.
Yeah,
You saw the areas.
yes, I mean, it's making me a better businesswoman. But also, again, because I also then started having this identity of like, dang, I lost my mojo. Like, I always prided myself on being a astute businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when you deal with that, again, it attacks your identity.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm going to go to ego, because I am not, whether I'm a good businesswoman or not, I am not, that is not my identity.
Mm-hmm.
My identity, I'm the righteousness of God, whether I'm good or not.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be emotionally swayed. That's what I had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But it also made me feel like, dang, you was just operating off pure luck. You ain't good.
Mm-hmm.
Mess with my confidence for half a minute
Yeah.
in that process.
Yeah.
And then again, you come back around and it's like, no, you are not good.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a house of cards.
Because one, you're with the creator and he didn't give you a fish. What's the scripture I'm looking for? Where he said he will teach you how to fish.
That's not a scripture.
Isn't that?
No,
isn't that
that's a saying.
Isn't it saying?
If you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. If you teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime.
Well, that's the saying, but then also in the scripture, he told, I don't know if it was who was the two on the boat when he went out there and he was like, y'all out here fishing.
Peter and I guess it was Peter and James.
I think that same
definitely Peter.
That same concept could go. Like he said, I'll make you a fisher of men.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah. So he said when he first met them, he was like, "You're fishermen. You're fishing for fish. I'll make you a fisher of men." Mm-hmm. I don't even remember what we was relating that back to.
Basically saying like what you were talking about, like how your identity was getting attacked, and as far as like losing your mojo, I was just saying like.
Right.
Because I got this saying I tell one of my homeboys. I tell them like, you know how to get money. I know how to get money. Like when you know what you know and you're a boss, you can't never fall off. You might fall down. You might take a setback.
I took a big fall off.
But you can't never just fall off.
I felt like I fell off.
Because you're a boss. You know what you... One thing about knowledge is you can never unknow what you know unless, God forbid, you have some mental illness.
That joint mess with you. I'm glad that it happened. I'm not going to lie.
It will mess with you.
It did mess with my head, like to the point where like I didn't. But here's the thing. I take full responsibility from an emotional perspective that I emotionally brought that on. Because I started living in a spirit of fear.
That's deep right there. And that's what that do. And those feelings are demonic.
I know.
Shame is demonic feeling. Guilt is a demonic feeling.
I know.
Fear, I won't say is a demonic feeling, but shame and guilt definitely are.
I was just telling, I'm going to stop this, but I was just telling a friend that the crazy thing about the shame that I had, the shame came from something that I did that wasn't even related to business. Something that happened to me. Being associated with someone that I was like, how could I get myself associated with this person? What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fudge?
What the fudge?
Cereal, no mirth.
What the fudge?
What the fudge? All right.